I'm pretty sure that there could be no one who would not have even played at least once in their childhood with a crazy ball. Now, let's have a look at this ball. Now, you would be surprised to see that every single time the ball is actually hitting on the floor, it is bouncing up. So, what could be the reason that is actually bouncing the ball off the table? The answer is pretty simple. The ball is always getting an equal and opposite force from the table that is actually pushing it up on the upside. Now, we understand that every single time it touches the table, it bounces up. The table is actually acting as a point of support for the ball. Now, what if this table isn't there? Let's have a look. Obviously, the ball falls down. It is just because of the reason that we really didn't have a table out there. Now, same way in the stock markets too, we find levels of support. And to identify that, we'll be having to look at some charts. Now let me ask you another question. So let's assume that you are a child who's seeing this ball for the very first time. Now, did you ever think about the fact that first time the ball bounces on the table, it is going to pick up? The answer is obviously no. But the second time you saw the ball actually hitting the table and picking up, now you were more or less sure that okay, again if the ball touches the table, it is going to pick up. So when it kind of comes to the concept of support in the real-time markets too, it is more about psychology. So if a support level is being tested in the markets for a larger duration of time, more people are actively monitoring it, and the more number of times a level gets tested, the more validated the level becomes. Now let's take a different scenario. Let's say that the ball is actually touching the table, and when it bounces up, there is some external force that is kind of coming from the top that is not letting the ball to pick up. That is, there is some sort of an external force coming from the top side that is not letting the ball to bounce up further. This is what we refer to as the concept of resistance. So resistance levels are points, or resistance zones are regions from where selling pressure starts coming in, not letting the buyers to take an upper hand over the markets. Many times we often see that whenever the price actually reaches a resistance level, selling pressure starts coming in, and it in turn pushes the price down back either to the support, or it eventually breaks the support and moves down towards the next level. Now let's have a look at some resistance levels on the charts. I just wanted to convey to you that support is nothing else but a price point from where the stock price bounces up, and resistance is nothing else but a price point from where stock price gets pushed down. Now the reason support and resistance levels holds is actually due to the psychology of the people who are observing the markets, as well as of the concept of supply and demand zones. Now the concept of support and resistance levels are very easily observable when it kind of comes to the ranging market conditions. I just wanted to convey to you, the more chart hours you spend in front of the markets analyzing different stocks, the more comfortable you get with marking support and resistance levels. Also, there is one more thing that we actually refer to as trend lines. So let me just quickly introduce you to the concept of trend lines. Now let's talk about a scenario where the markets have been trending on the upside. Now if you are to mark any support and resistance levels over here, then definitely, like, I'm not telling you it is not possible. You could probably mark a level like this, you could mark a level like this, you could actually mark a level like this. This would actually make your chart a lot too cluttered, and many times we get confused by marking too many lines. Now there is one more thing that can be done. So if there is a possibility where you are capable of connecting two or more points that either connecting the highs or connecting the lows, in some situations you are capable of connecting both the parts. If you can connect two or more points together on a single line, then you can extend a line, and that we can call it as a trend line. So trend line basically denotes the trend within which the price is traveling. So right now I realize for myself the stock is actually in an uptrend, and if I extend the points by connecting the points together, if I extend it upside, I realize for myself the price has been traveling within this particular channel. So as long as the price manages to travel within the same channel, I could consider the trend to be up. Now let's say that at any particular point of time the price is eventually coming out of this particular trend line. So that could possibly be the start of a new direction. Now some of you will be wondering that we could actually extend trend lines only if we are capable of connecting both the highs and lows. Now there could be even scenarios where you're just connecting the highs or just connecting the lows. Now let's have a look at how the ball travels as I drop it on the table. I'm pretty sure that you would have actually noticed out for yourself. What happens out over here is, first the ball falls on the table, again it picks up, but this time not to the full height, then again it drops down, again it picks up, again it drops down. So every single time the support or the tabletop is actually staying at the same location, but because of gravity the ball is not capable of picking up much further. Okay, so in cases like this you could even connect the high points out over here and extend the trend line. So there is no necessity that both the sides you need to get a trend line. There could be even cases when one side you get a trend line, one side you get a support or a resistance, and there could be even scenarios where one side you get a trend line but on the other side you get nothing. So I just wanted to mention, trading is not about being too much theoretical, and whatever we learn in theory we can't actually spot it out in the real time.